That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow.
That's 1 minute! See you tomorrow!
If you were anywhere on the internet between 2016 and 2019, you heard that line. Every single day for 1,000 days straight, a man with a shaved head and an impossibly wide smile looked into his phone camera, showed you a corner of the world you had never seen, and ended with those 6 words. His name is Nuseir Yassin. The world knew him as Nas Daily, and for a while, he was the most authentic storyteller on the internet. A man who quit a 6-figure tech job to travel the planet and prove that humans everywhere are more alike than different. It was beautiful, it was inspiring, and then it all fell apart. Not because he ran out of content, not because the algorithm changed, but because somewhere along the way, the man who told the world to be honest stopped being honest himself. If you're building a brand around trust, you need to hear exactly what went wrong. Subscribe right now, because we break down stories like this every single week. Let's go back to the beginning. Nuseir Yassin was born on February 9th, 1992 in Araba, a small Arab town in the Galilee region of Israel. His family is of Palestinian descent. His mother was a teacher, his father was a psychologist. Growing up, Nuseir existed in one of the most complicated identity crossroads on Earth. A Palestinian kid born inside Israel, a Muslim who attended Israeli schools, a boy who spoke Arabic at home, and Hebrew on the streets. He didn't fully belong to either side, and that tension would follow him for the rest of his life. But Nuseir was brilliant. He excelled in school. At 19, he applied to Harvard University, writing his admissions essay about the challenges of being an Arab in Israel. He got in with a scholarship. He graduated in 2014 with a degree in economics and a minor in computer science. While at Harvard, he co-founded a couple of startups and began to understand the power of technology and storytelling. After graduation, he took a job as a software developer at Venmo in New York. He was making over $100,000 a year. He had the apartment, he had the career, he had everything that was supposed to make him happy, and he was miserable. He later said he calculated that by the age of 24, he had already lived roughly a third of his life, and he had spent most of it inside offices and classrooms. That calculation changed everything. In 2016, Nuseir quit his job and made a promise that most people would have laughed at. He said he was going to travel the world and post a 1-minute video every single day for 1,000 days. Not 2 minutes, not 10 minutes, exactly 1 minute. Every day, no exceptions. He called the project Nas Daily. Nas is the Arabic word for people, and that is exactly what every video was about. People. He went everywhere. The Philippines, Japan, Israel, Palestine, Kenya, Brazil, Iceland. He didn't stay in luxury hotels or visit tourist traps. He found the stories that nobody else was telling. A man in Japan who dedicated his life to cleaning toilets. A tribe in Ethiopia that measured wealth in cattle. A blind photographer in Turkey. A country with no army. Each video was tightly edited, emotionally punchy, and exactly 60 seconds long. His face was always in the frame, his energy was always genuine, and every single video ended the same way. That's 1 minute, see you tomorrow. The internet fell in love. By 2018, after meeting Mark Zuckerberg himself, Nas Daily was upgraded to show status on Facebook. His page exploded past 10 million followers. By 2019, when he posted video number 1000, he had become one of the most recognizable content creators on the planet. He published a memoir called Around the World in 60 Seconds. He was invited to speak at conferences, summits, and universities. He had proven that a man with a phone, a story, and a relentless work ethic could compete with entire media companies. If this story is already shifting the way you think about personal branding, drop a like right now. It helps this reach more people who need to hear it. But here is where the story turns. After the 1,000-day journey ended, Nuseir didn't stop. He pivoted. He launched Nas Academy in 2020, an online learning platform where creators and professionals could teach courses to paying students. He opened Nas Studios. He hired over 100 staff. He raised $23 million in funding. The scrappy backpacker with a phone had become a CEO running a media empire from Singapore and later Dubai. And the audience started to notice that something had changed. The videos didn't feel the same anymore. The guy who used to sleep on airport floors and eat street food was now promoting governments, running corporate partnerships, and selling online courses. The authenticity that had made Nas Daily special was slowly being replaced by something that looked and smelled a lot like a marketing machine. Then came 2021, and everything collapsed. It started in the Philippines. Nas Academy announced an online course featuring Apo Wang Od, a 104-year-old legendary tattoo artist from the Kalinga indigenous tribe, considered the last living practitioner of traditional Kalinga tattooing. The course promised that this centenarian legend would reveal her rituals, tools, and methods. It sounded incredible, except Wang Od's own grandniece publicly called it a scam. She wrote on Facebook that her grandmother had never signed any contract with Nas Academy and that people were taking advantage of their culture. Nuseir responded by posting a video of Wang Od pressing her thumbprint onto a document, claiming that was proof of consent. The backlash was instant and brutal. Critics pointed out that showing a 104-year-old indigenous woman thumbprinting a contract was not proof of informed consent. It reminded people of the way colonizers historically manipulated indigenous communities into signing away their land and traditions. The Philippines National Commission on Indigenous Peoples launched a formal investigation. Within 3 days, Nas Daily lost over 500,000 followers on Facebook. But it didn't stop there. A young Filipino social entrepreneur named Luis Mabulo came forward and accused Nuseir of being dismissive and exploitative during a visit to cover her UN award-winning cacao farming project. She said he mocked the local accent, called Filipinos poor, and told her that nobody wanted to hear about farmers because they weren't clickable content. Filipino media personalities who had signed up to teach on Nas Academy began pulling out. Veteran journalist Jessica Soho cancelled her course. Former Miss Universe Katrina Gray paused hers. Calls grew to ban Nuseir from the country entirely. Nas Academy suspended all operations in the Philippines. And then the identity question caught up with him. As a Palestinian born in Israel, Nuseir had always walked a tightrope. He called himself Palestinian-Israeli. He tried to present both sides. He preached unity and coexistence. But in October 2022, when he posted a video addressing the conflict and framing it as a situation with violence on both sides, Palestinian creators and audiences accused him of being dangerously simplistic and ignoring the massive power imbalance. Then, in October 2023, he publicly declared that he now identified as Israeli first, Palestinian second. The fallout was massive. Followers from across the Arab world unfollowed in waves. Brand deals evaporated. He said himself that he had been cancelled more than 10 times. And here is the lesson that matters. Nas Daily did not fail because of politics. He did not fail because of one bad business decision in the Philippines. He failed because he built his entire brand on one word: authenticity. and then abandoned it the moment the money got big enough. When you tell the world for 1,000 days that you care about people, about cultures, about truth, you are making a promise. And the internet does not forget that promise. The moment your actions stop matching your words, the same audience that built you will be the one that tears you down. You can recover from a bad video. You can recover from a controversy. But you cannot recover from your audience realizing that the person they trusted was performing the whole time. Share this with someone who's building a brand on trust. They need to hear this before it's too late.